Coffee, check. Board games, check.
And after many requests, it's time. Let's catch up on those 2024 gaming resolutions that Conesy and I have.
Woo! Welcome to WiscoDice. Hey, yo, folks, I am your host, Conesy with Most, and I am joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And today we're going to catch up with a little board games and coffee.
Yep.
Our show where we drink our morning coffee and talk board games and other fun things. Yep. So, on today's episode of Board Games and Coffee, what are we going over?
We're going to give you a recap of where we are on our 2024 gaming resolutions while we drink some Revolution Roast.
Yeah, so
yes.
So we're drinking today Revolution Roast from
Just Coffee
Co-op. So let us know what you're drinking in the comments. And while you're down there, what should you do? Smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe while you're there. All right, and with that, let's roll into those board game resolutions. All right, so I guess I'll start it off.
Yep, you go right ahead.
All right, so I've got some bad news on our first resolution, although I still think it's going to get done before the end of the year, which is the key. It has to. It kind of needs to get done in like a couple of months. And that is getting our tabletop gaming room / studio finished. Or at least to a point where we're able to shoot video in there.
We tend to play games over.
It has, I don't know why, it just keeps getting deprioritized. We have been very busy. This has been a very crazy year, but we need to find time because the table that's going in there is going to show up, I'm sure, in the next month or two, and then we have problems. So, yeah, that is absolutely on the to-do list. Fortunately or unfortunately, I think the fact that Geek and Son has had some issues getting the tables into the States and then getting them out for distribution has also enabled our procrastination a little bit on that particular goal. But, we are needing to get that one done.
I mean, I'll say when the choice is between playing a game or sanding down a wall, what would you rather do, everyone? Play a game, I would think.
Yeah. It certainly is.
So I likewise have not made much progress on one of my resolutions I was really excited about. It's the relaunching our board game Brunch, but launching it this time on YouTube. It's just, again, like I've been playing games and focusing on other things, and I want to do it right when we do it. I think
we're gonna have some more explanation for this when we get to my final resolution update as well, right? Because I think that resolution ties into some challenges with bringing this back.
Yes, that it does. But I definitely still want to do it. I just want to do it right and have it planned out so that it's not a one and then wait 2 months before you see the next episode of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what else you got on your list?
All right, well, here's another one. It's starting to slip a little bit, and that is to attend 12 or more tabletop gaming conventions in 2024. I'm at 4 right now, between Cabin Con, Con of the North, Adepticon, and Gen Con. Haven't been able to hit any more. Now, I have a series of cons that we're going to this fall. I think that's going to get me around 8 or so for the year. So, a little bit short of the 12. There may be an extra con or something that gets slipped in there. There's one or two that are a possibility. But I honestly think I'm going to come up just that much short.
But I think you should be happy with 8. Because that's a lot of conventions, and that's a lot of time.
It is a lot of conventions, a lot of time. But it's been a lot of fun. All of those conventions I had a great time at. It was absolutely wonderful to be there. And honestly, I think next year there's potential for an extra con or two extra even in the schedule because...
we'll see.
well, I know I'm going to be at Midwinter, which I wasn't
yes,
this last
that's
year.
true. Okay, so there'll be those and stuff.
And then GaryCon and Adepticon actually don't fall on the same weekend, and with any good luck, I will be at both of those. There is some, I think next year is going to be.
We can try this resolution again.
I think I'll probably be closer to 9 or 10 cons next year. So I think 12 was a little ambitious, but it's a thing. It's been good.
It's a goal to get to.
It's been good being out there, meeting people, playing games with all sorts of new people. Con on the North was a highlight. We basically sat in open gaming and played games for 2 days.
That was great fun. Conesy's resolution was to interact more at conventions. Well, not interact more, but involve himself in more conventions. I had a goal, a resolution of interacting more in online gaming groups. Online interaction is intimidating for me with just the amount of negativity that can come up at times, and so I've been very hesitant to do that, but I have been interacting, and it's been more positive than negative, so I feel like that's been a success for me, and
yeah, I mean,
I'm just doing that and taking that plunge and being like, all right, this is okay. I mean, most of the time I know there's a lot of people that are tentative because the internet's full of a lot of all over the place, right? But you can pick and choose whether it's on Facebook or Discord or whatever. You get to pick and choose what you reply to and what you comment on. If you stay away from things that are like if somebody's posing a question and you sense some controversial topic there, or if your response is going to be "Why are you Catan?" then maybe you don't need to say that because it's going to stir up a rat's nest. And I mean, unless you're really into stirring up a rat's nest. But if you're tentative and you don't want that kind of thing, but if you don't post those things. Post, but if you see somebody like asking what's your favorite board games for 2 players, and you list 3 games that are 2-player only games that you really enjoy, I have never ever gotten any backlash. Usually what you'll end up getting is like you'll either get no comments or responses to what you said, or you get like what happens to me quite often is you'll get somebody that's like, yeah, I really like that game too. Yep. I totally agree. And that makes, in that time when you get that kind of positive feedback, which the community is nobody talks about that positive feedback kind of things that happen on social media and whatnot, but when you do get those kind of, hey, somebody else validated my like or my passion for this game, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, that makes you feel good, doesn't it? It does. And I have been following the rule that was instilled in me a long time ago that if you don't have anything constructive or positive to say, you just don't say anything at all. If it's not, unless you need to do that for someone's safety, which on the gaming groups, it's not usually about someone's safety, the things that I've been looking at. So
yeah, I mean,
so I try to say positive and constructive. So that's where I'm at with that one. Conesy, what else you got on your list?
I set a goal to paint 100 miniatures this year or more. Last year was one of the worst years I think I've ever had painting miniatures for Warhammer or D&D or whatever miniature game or board game I want to paint them in. And I think I painted like 30 some figures last year, which I know for some people that's a lot, but that for me, that is way low. I'm really used to doing 150, 200 or more figures a year. And so I set a goal of 100 this year, and I am happy to report that I finally have something that I can say, check, done, success. I'm probably still going to keep painting some more figures, but I'm at 105 right now as of today. And congratulations to D&D group for our new campaign, which means I need to paint new figures. Congratulations to some push on trying to get some more figures done. Some renewed interest in playing the Batman miniature game, so I painted a couple of those. But more importantly, there was a big push for me to get Mansions and Madness painted. Now, I'm going to say that I have not completed the core game yet, but I'm down to like 4 or 5 models. So
oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say you haven't
No.
painted the core game yet, but I've got all the expansions painted.
No. I'm focused on the core
That's
game.
what I would do.
I have 4 or 5. I should say I have 4 or 5 of the monster models. Then I still have to do the investigators that come with the core box. So
Dip them in pink paint.
no. But yeah, so I hopefully will have Mansions of Madness, the core game, finished by the end of the year. As well as, which also kind of became a goal a little bit in this thing to try to achieve. And most importantly, hey, I have a success. We have our first success on the list.
Yay!
Yay!
Yes, I'm not going to continue the success train too much, but it is definitely moving forward.
Neither am I.
Mine is, I would want to organize our board game library. And I have found a storage solution for our neoprene mats.
Yep.
And I just need to label them. And I have researched and tried out some different apps that I wanted to use to kind of catalog and be able to scan and tell me where things were in the board game library. But they're all focused on books.
All right.
Unfortunately.
So tell the audience a little bit about this master plot you have to make sure I never find another board game.
No. This is so that I can find the board games.
Which will mean I can't.
So what I want to do is put them in organization on all our shelves. So we currently have them by maximum player count, and then within that kind of by publisher / genre, theme, style, whatever. So it kind of goes down after that. And then I want to, because we have, 770 games or titles or something right now.
Counting expansions.
I want to be able to have a little tablet that you can, scroll through, kind of like the card catalog at the library. And you either search by, whatever. Player count, publisher, game name, theme, type of thing. And then it tells you which shelving unit and which shelf within that shelving unit the game is on. And I just want to put a little barcode on the back of them. So there are free apps that you can get that I found that do this magnificently for books. But they scan the barcode of a book, right? The unique number for those. They don't have, the games uploaded into them, and it's a little bit more work than I want to do right now, at the moment, to add the games to the database. So I'm trying to figure out how to either create my own or make that work or just trash the idea. I mean, I found the little cute barcode scanner that you can just have, so you can just place them. Right. And
I'm gonna say this idea is actually really cool. I really like the idea conceptually. However, I don't think our library is that big
yet. I'm trying to plan for future expansion and growth.
We already have an expansion and growth problem because, unfortunately, the problem and why the board game library needs organization is that our current shelving system cannot hold all of the games, and they are starting to overflow the shelves.
They're flowing to other parts of the house. We have games in the bedroom, we have games in the living room, we have games
that
in
has
my
nothing to do with the game.
office.
That's because people don't take them up there to play them and don't bring them back. That has nothing to do with storage.
But then you would know that they are checked out, and by who?
Yeah, we would find out. She doesn't bring my tools back and put them in the toolbox, and she doesn't bring the board games back.
But yes, so I mean, this is I would like to be able to do this and have this, because then also when we have a game day here, and we have 3 or 4 tables of games going on, Cones and I are at separate tables, and then a 3rd or 4th table finishes and they want to go and find a certain game or are offering to put the game that they have back. Now they easily can know where it is. They don't have to interrupt us. They can just go and grab a game or find a game and
There is
spend too much time looking.
There is something to be said there, maybe. But, I mean, I think there's other ways to accomplish it. Either way, I'm less worried about trying to deal with this in software and more worried about trying to figure out how we store more games in the existing space. So, that is...
Buy a bigger house. No,
we already
not
did that.
doing that again.
Yeah, not yet.
I have more ideas, but we need to finish the studio first.
Yeah, studio first, then game storage. Game storage is probably going to be a big topic for us next year.
I will, and hey, if you have ways that you think are unique about storing your games...
That aren't Calyx shelves, or the equivalent.
Yeah. Send that in, because I need ideas. What else you got on your list?
Next up for me is a goal that I set. I wanted to try to push myself to play in-person board games. In-person board games, miniature games, RPGs, just in-person tabletop gaming, right? So I'm happy to say that I am, not counting RPG sessions, I am at 206 games played, and if I count RPG sessions that I either am going to play yet this year or that I've already played, I will hit 19 right now, I think is the number between our current total. So RPG sessions are not in the count. So 206 plus 19. So that puts me at 225 plays if I count all the RPG sessions. Now there's a couple of those RPG sessions that haven't happened, but they're our regular monthly D&D group, so I'm counting them ahead of time because I know those sessions will happen. There's like 3 or 4 sessions remaining for the year out of the regular group. Now that I'm less than half the year and I'm barely over half my total count. So there's a little concern here to make it, if I will make it. But it is also convention season, so I have Strong Tower Gaming Convention, I have Dragonfall, I have Gamehole Con, and I have Protospiel Madison, that are all conventions for sure that I'll play at. We have
our own game days.
We have Misty Mountain game nights at game days at a Wilden. Although some of my cons I think are going to cause me problems being able to be at a Wilden. A couple of other organized play groups.
And don't forget, you have me at home.
We've been we played almost all of our Gen Con purchases already.
Yes,
right?
we've been playing a lot.
Almost nothing left. There's only like 2 games I think. 1 game and 1 expansion or something like that. Plus. A couple more games so that we need more than 2 players to play.
Well, and then here's the other thing is that you're going into the end of the year. We live in Wisconsin. I think most everyone knows that Wisconsin starts getting cold. And it's like cold and wet. And that's not really great for being outside. Yard work turns down, so we have more time to play.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean that I need I'm going to be close to 40 games a month played, which is not unachievable, but it does mean my uptick of game plays. And unfortunately, there was a bit of a slump.
Less time on the studio.
Yeah, some of these other projects are not going to get done.
I think next year we need to think out our resolutions and the amount of time and how they impact each other.
Yeah, well, I think I was thinking I would play more at some of these conventions, and honestly, the biggest thing is like I did not anticipate how much the summer slump was going to impact things. Because I had some months where I only got like 17, 18 plays of games. So that is on me, though, and not making sure I found more time to play games.
Well, that's all right. I mean, one of the things that we have done to play a few more games was part of one of my resolutions, which was to attend board game meetups. We have a lot of board game meetups in the Madison, Wisconsin area.
We do.
There's pretty much something that's a board game meetup that you can go to every night of the week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays, Mondays, I think, are probably the most difficult one to find something. But yes, if you want to play board games and don't have a regular gaming group, you can definitely do that. The thing with us is that we do have a lot of other things going on also outside of gaming, and that take up time in the evenings. So
everybody does, right?
Yeah. It's very I did not expect to be empty nesters and still be as busy in the evenings.
We're kind of empty nesters.
But so we have though been joining the Madison Board Games and Beer, that they have a meetup once a month at Wilden Distillery.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, which is a fabulous location to go and play games. It's a great space. It's a great group of people.
I think they're going to bump that up to twice a month now too.
So yeah, so so we definitely have fun doing that. It's on a Sunday, so it's a little bit, hey, what do we want to do before the work week starts? So that's really nice. So yes, so I've been going to that. I did not set a goal with how many I needed to do, just that I needed to do it and experience it. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say that one's completed for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to explore a couple more meetups yet this year, but
that's my resolution, so I get to say when it's done, and I want to have one that's completed.
So, no, that is good. So what's your
my last one is completing a 10 by 10. And I didn't want to do the standard 10 by 10 that everyone's like, oh, you're going to play 10 games 10 times during the year.
Oh, that'd be almost impossible for us as reviewers.
And just in our general, even if we weren't doing that, we just enjoy learning new games. And, so I am not one that wants to play the same game necessarily 10 times in a row. Mm-hmm. I will. So I have several different goals on there, and I've completed 3 of the 10. I'm well on my way to completing another 3 of those. The one that's going to be the most difficult for me is the miniatures. I wanted to play 10 miniature games. I just have not gotten back into playing the Batman miniatures game, so that was something that we did every Monday for a while, and that just hasn't happened. But I did learn how to play Malifaux at Gen Con, and I've got my crew, and I just need to either convince Conesy or find someone else in the area that I can play that a few times. Will I get 10 by the end of the year? Probably not, but
I don't know. Depends on how excited she is about actually playing Malifaux, I think.
Well, I'm really excited about playing it, because I actually learned how to paint the miniatures and paint them, so I want them on the table to play with. So those are my resolutions, where I'm at for my 10 by 10. We have a link on our website that you can see the progress of that, where I mark off. I update it every time I tick another little box to hold myself accountable for that one.
We'll have a link to that in our show notes too, so that you can just click right over to it. So make sure you grab that right in the description below. I wanted to kind of loop back a little bit on one of my. I have one more resolution on the list, but I wanted to share a couple of stats on, because I did say, hey, I've played over 200 games, right? And now 19 of them have been RPGs, specifically Dungeons and Dragons. So that is, 19 times getting together and playing that. I mean, of course, it helped DMing for GUI Cube at Gen Con to help boost those counts. Other games that and then our regular group getting together. But the other stats that I wanted to share is, of course, most played miniature game this year by far, and most played game. The game I've had the most plays of has been the Batman miniature game. So even though it's really been, I feel like, a down year for me on Batman, and I really haven't done a lot with my Batman hobby or Batman play, I still have played the game 16 times, which is quite a few times, right, for any single game. Of course, if you're a miniature player and you play on a regular, weekly basis, that probably sounds a little low, especially if you go to a few tournaments. We've also knocked out a Scythe Rise of Fenris campaign, which we did a review on, which that meant we had 8 plays of that, which is my most played game so far this year.
That's a board game.
That is a board game. But very close on its tails, and this is something that I think is really interesting, is when we did our games of the year for 2023, I nominated Distilled, right? And part of the reason that I nominated Distilled, besides it being a really, really good game, was the fact that it just, for whatever reason, just keeps getting back to the table. Now, part of that's probably because I really like the game, but part of that is people keep asking for it.
Yeah, I think it's just as much, we enjoy it as much as people want to play it, whether they've played it before or they haven't yet.
Yep. And so it's hit the table 7 times already.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't wrapped up end of the year stats, I think Distilled is going to get to the table probably another time or so yet before the end of the year that I will actually play it. I mean, I've got it slotted for some convention games, but I will only be teaching and not playing. Another campaign game that's going to sneak up here and I think take the top spot for board game played is going to be Role Player Adventures, because we're currently playing through that.
Yes.
And that has 11 total plays to get through the whole campaign. So I kind of expect that to overtake the top board game this year, looking at it from campaign games. But I think Distilled is going to be the top non-campaign game that I've played. So, and of course, we reviewed Distilled, so you can check that out as well. Just some kind of interesting stats to kind of feed into that 200 games played. There are still a lot of total different games, and I wish I had a complete total of different games that I've played this year, but it is a lot. We're looking at the list right now, and it is a lot. It rolls 2 pages on BGG. So
out of curiosity, while Conesy was talking, I pulled up my stats that I track, and I am not as diligent as tracking as him, but I have played 121 games.
Yeah,
but I am definitely not as diligent, and I have not played as much of the Batman miniatures game. Those days I was probably not playing a game. Yeah. And I don't, you know what? I just realized I don't record my solo plays.
You should.
I need to start recording my solo plays.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you absolutely should.
Yeah. But it's a lot of games, and it's...
I'm sure if you're at 100 and some, I'm probably over that, or I'm pretty close to that as far as unique games played. So it's not just playing the same games over and over either, although there are some games like Distilled inside these role-player adventures that have been, hey, I've played it over and over, but there are a lot of just unique plays, games that I've played once or twice. I actually was surprised. Like, I'm looking at this first page, there's like 50 games or so or more, and there is a large list of games that I've played at least twice, which is really also kind of cool to see, because usually for me, I don't always get games played that second time, so that means at least I'm getting, if we're acquiring a game, we're playing it at least twice. Yep. And then it may or may not get played again. Who knows?
Yep. And I'll just say, I have beat you on the number of times I've played Distilled this year.
Yeah.
Because I know I have 2 times that I have not logged it.
Hey, didn't log it, didn't happen.
Well, then I'm at 7, so we're tied.
But yeah,
I love teaching that game.
Yeah, no, it's a great game.
It's one of my favorite games to teach, I think.
Yeah, no, it makes it really easy. So, all right, so let's get back to the topic at hand, though, which is, I guess that was related to the topic, because I love stats like that. I just find it interesting and fascinating, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll probably do a Board Games and Coffee where we compile our stats closer to the end of the year.
Somewhere probably. I like to do that. I used to do that as a blog post, and I probably will still do it as a blog post again, or kind of round out my stats. But yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to do in January. Just kind of look back at 2024 and say, hey, what did we actually play?
Yeah, maybe we'll do it in December.
The final resolution of
the show. Right. You have one more.
I do have one more. And
you guys ready for this one?
Yeah, I am totally ready. So we're looking at you. In January, I set a goal to try to drop 100 pounds. Not there yet. But
you're getting closer.
But yes, I am getting much, much closer. I am officially, as of today, down 35 pounds.
Yay,
so
that's good.
I'm going to take that as a major win. Yes. Now, there was a struggle the first few months of the year because we were trying to do this weight loss thing together. And we couldn't, it just wasn't landing because you weren't having success.
No.
And it's kind of frustrating when one person's losing weight and the other person's not. You're just like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why can't I lose weight? Why are things not working? Well, you started a new dietary plan. And this factors in to why we haven't been able to do the board game brunch. The board game brunch.
Why I haven't, probably been as excited about trying to figure it out.
Because a lot of times when we were doing board game brunch, there was carb-based things and very yummy things that we were doing
with sugar in them.
Or a lot of sugar.
You know, like it was fun food, and not the food that we're eating isn't fun. It just what I have been doing has been very restrictive and
So you're basically on a keto adjacent diet, right?
Yes.
So
that's a good way of putting it.
Started out fairly strict, but you're starting to get a little bit more flex in it, and you've been very successful as well. You're down almost the same amount of 30 pounds or so, right?
Yeah, since the beginning of the year, it's probably closer to 45. But yeah, since we've been on it, it's about the 35 in the 6 months that I've been on this plan.
So we've been, and I'm kind of keto adjacent now with you because I want to support you in your diet.
And also, I do a lot of
eat
cooking
a little bit
and
more
grocery
carbs
shopping
than you do, so I'll occasionally have, like, if the meal is really small, because I need more calories generally in a day than you do, just due to my size, etc. It's been really successful, right? And that's the key thing we're taking away is even if I don't hit 100 pounds weight loss, the fact that I've lost a bunch of weight is a big success, and I'm not beating myself up at all about this goal because I'm ecstatic that I'm losing weight and I feel so much better already. Like, we went to Gen Con this year, and physically we were able to go longer, play harder, play more, walk the vendor hall more.
Oh yeah, like it was no big deal. Like this year, I, just 30,000 steps a day. All right, cool. I'm done. Go the next day.
Like, was there tiredness and exhaustion? Was there? Hey, did we blink and Gen Con was over? Yes. But the fact that we were not sitting there suffering the whole Gen Con, like, I can't go. I mean, there was one day where I had some issues the Saturday, but I was full cosplay in boots that I had not broke in.
Which one that of were your also tips really heavy before Gen Con was to break in your shoes.
Not only break in your shoes, but I think I needed to walk a lot with those shoes on because the weight of the shoes really exhausted me in a way that I wasn't used to. Sure. So. But that's looking back at it going, okay, I didn't follow one of our recommendations, and two, I probably should have been going for some walks with those boots on ahead of time to condition myself to be ready for that, for the kind of step counts that I would need to do for or choose a day when I wasn't going to hit a huge step count, right? Like a day where I was going to be, if I would have cosplayed on Sunday, say for example, where I ran nothing but D&D twice, I only clocked in maybe 10K worth of steps, and that's about how many steps I clocked in all day with my boots on Saturday.
I'll say like the weight loss and the change in what we're eating too. For me, like playing games, I don't know, I feel like I am more focused when we are playing games and I'm
losing more.
And able to just kind of understand and strategize on the fly and interact with people, and overall I think it's actually improved the gaming experience because it's kind of like, if you're playing soccer and when you start being able to just stay longer and your endurance is better, you enjoy it. I assume you enjoy it more. Like for the gaming, it's like, okay, I played a game. Hey, I'm not mentally or physically exhausted. Let's go and do another one. And
oh yeah, absolutely. So it's a big takeaway for us coming out of this because we've been gamers. I mean, I've been a gamer my whole life.
I've been a gamer.
You've been a gamer your whole life. Yes. You had a harder time finding people before.
It was not So, But yes, it's different.
And certainly when there's a thing with the gamer lifestyle where you put on, a lot of us are larger, we put on weight, we're more sedentary.
There's things you can do like that. I'm finding myself doing now is I don't sit the entire game.
Yeah,
I stand up, like I stand up to reach. Like this table that we do a lot of our gaming at. Is one that you do have to stand up to kind of reach the other side. So when you're playing with a smaller group of people, you do have to be physically more active with like reaching and standing and stuff. And
And all of the community support. If there was any one of our resolutions that we've been asked about more to provide updates for, and I think that you, the audience, has asked us, say, hey, how are you doing on your resolutions? Or how are you doing on your weight loss journey? Or kind words, supportive advice that you, the audience, have given us, particularly myself, when I brought this resolution to the table. Thank you so much. It means the world to us. And then we're very happy to report how it's changed our lives. If you've been on a weight loss journey that's changed your life or helped you out, let us know in the comments below. And if you're struggling or looking for support in your weight loss journey, we're happy to share and encourage you as well. And know that there are also wonderful groups like Body by Gygax that you can join that allow you to really, be with a group of accepting people that are encouraging to help you get on track and stay on track. Because at the end of the day, we really are finding, as we continue to drop weight, more enjoyment now in everything we do, not just the stuff at the game table. And that was something we didn't even know we were missing. So thank you so much. And on that bombshell, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you next time on Board Games and Coffee, because my cups run dry.
And mine has too, pretty much.
Hey there, it's Conesy. Thank you so much for watching. We put out videos weekly here at WiscoDice. Check out our channel for more great videos, and don't forget to subscribe. We also have more great content on our website at WiscoDice.com. Of course, we do this all for you, the viewers. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.